Today is April 16th. I want to welcome you to the committee hearing this morning. Everybody, please take a seat. Mr. Clerk, why don't you run through the items on the agenda, and then we'll begin with public comment.
Item number 1, City Attorney Report and Ordinance relative to Phase 3 storefront applicants, deadlines for Phase 2 applications, the rules and regulation for cannabis procedures, and other related matters. Item number 2, motion to request the City Attorney an ordinance which would enable city departments to recover all costs associated with utility disconnection or other actions taken to shut down illegal cannabis businesses. Item number 3, resolution to support motion Ridley Thomas Solis regarding dedicated resources for cannabis-related cases eligible for expungement, and support for AB 1076, which would automate arrest and conviction relief to eligible persons. Item number 4, resolution and CLA report relative to SB 67, which would revalidate any expired temporary licenses if the license applied for an annual state license. Item number 5, resolution CLA report regarding SB 51, regulation for cannabis limited charter banks and credit unions for the purposes of providing banking services to cannabis-related businesses. A technical correction on item number 5, the reference number is 190002-S48. The resolution was attached to the e-packet. Item number 6, resolution and CLA report regarding SB 658 to expand the access of the Track and Trace program database to identify safe and legal cannabis businesses. Item number 7, resolution and CLA report for AB 1417 regarding online platforms, requirement to advertisement for online platforms to display the license number of the cannabis businesses. Item number 8, resolution and CLA report relative to AB 1080 and SB 54, the California Circular Economy and Plastic Pollution Act. Item number 9, resolution and CLA report relative to HR 296 to reject efforts to enlist, engage, or otherwise associate the U.S. government with the denial of the Armenian genocide and related matters.
Thank you. Okay, why don't we begin with, let's just do public comment. So if my screen is correct, I want to call, and everybody gets a minute, Aaron Hertzberg, Adina Tesler, Christina Marsh, Elizabeth Osterman, come on forward. Come on, if I call you, don't hesitate, just come on down.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Council. My name is Christina Marsh. 4.5 years ago, I would put down an opiate addiction cold turkey after 7 years in surviving terminal cancer. I would start to rebuild my life and create a product that was key in my recovery, a cannabis topical. My former work colleague and I would create a brand for the homeless in LA, and we would be shelved in Los Angeles and throughout California for 3 years. Next week should be the happiest week of my life. I have overcome my homeless status this last year and a half and co-created a successful LA topical grant. It will be my 51st birthday, and I was asked to speak next Saturday in Oakland to the state and to the esteemed leaders in the subject of compassion, something I also fight very hard for. Next week will not be the happiest week of my life. Next week is devastating. I have $20 left to my name and no rent money, and Oakland certainly won't be happening. I stand before you calling out gross negligence for opening Phase 2 social equity round with zero funding or resources. I don't need you to pay my fees. I need protection from predators and need real investors.
Thank you. Okay, and we're joined, Sergeants, could you get the document from her? And I'm joined today by Council Member Martinez and Mr. Harris Dawson. So if you would identify yourself. In fact, before you start, Elliot Lewis, Yolanda Carter, Felicia Carvajal, come on up. If I call you, please come and get in line. Yes, ma'am. Identify yourself.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Osterman. I am a co-owner, founder of Loki Lotion. We are a tropical company, compassion brand, and we've been fighting really hard as women business owners. We've kind of lost ownership in this process. We have had to take our products off the shelves about 9 months now. We haven't had any source of any resources available to us. It's getting very difficult to keep moving forward, and I'm not understanding where the money is and why we are still fighting with equity and equality in this space. I don't know where to go at this point and how to navigate this without resources. Please, 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 please get Kat Packer her money like today. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Again, if I've called your name, please get in line. Yes.
Good morning. My name is Felicia Carbajal. I'm a member of the Equity First LA Coalition. First and foremost, we want to thank City Council and President Weston's office for working with the community to make many needed changes to Phase 3. So we thank you. We want to continue. We know we need to start moving forward with processes, but we ask that you continue to consider merit-based in some capacity so that we can continue to have oversight. We ask for transparency in this and in all community benefit plans, including the Phase 1 license holders. We urge Council and the Mayor to support DCR's $4.5 million fiscal year 2019-2020 budget request. This is a step, but we all know it's not nearly enough. We also invite your offices to come and step outside as we introduce the Community Reinvestment and Corporate Social Responsibility model. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, again, did Hertzberg come up, Aaron? Adam Vine? Elliot Lewis? Yolanda Carter? Joseph Pettit? Andrew, is this last week's? I'm striking out here. Arnold Sachs, I see you. Come on down. Yes, sir. Kristen Lovell. Sir, identify yourself.
Good morning, council members. My name is Joseph Pettit. I am the Policy and Program Coordinator for the Los Angeles Regional Rentry Partnership, and I am a member of the Equity First Coalition, LA Coalition, excuse me. We just want to echo the voices that have already been said and just ensure that Proposition 64 was designed to help out the communities most impacted by the war on drugs and war on cannabis. And I just want to echo the fact that we renamed it Nipsey Hussle Square a few days ago, right, in our community, in my community where I work at, and seeing what real community reinvestment looks like, right, when the money goes, when the real money goes in the community and the real results happen. And that's all we're here to do, is just make sure that Kat has her money and that we can best ensure true equity for people in Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you. Please identify yourself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kristen Lovell, and I am an organizer and member of the Equity First LA Coalition. Thank you to the City Council President, your Wesson's office, for working with the community to make many of the needed changes to Phase 3 programming and licensing. We ask for transparency in this and on all community benefit plans, including Phase 1 license holders. We urge Council and the Mayor to support the DCR's $4.5 million fiscal year budget. This is a step, but it's not enough to begin repairing the harms from the war on drugs. We want a community reinvestment fund, and you will continue to see us here until we see the money. Please put equity first.
Thank you for coming. Mr. Sachs.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Arnold Ross Sachs. Wow. So what I would suggest everybody do in here, take a deep breath and kind of like read everything here with a new set of eyes. I'm looking at this public comment, huh? The rules, your 1 minute rule has got to change. The motion part that you play this game with the public about considering motions, but you don't read the motions into the record. See, that's the most important part about making a motion, is keeping a record of what's done. And when you don't read those motions into the record, they don't mean anything. Whether you're doing it here behind this game of putting it on your agenda to consider a motion, you need to read it into the record. That's the rule. That's Robert's Rule of Law. I don't know, it's the Brown Act, but that's the rule. Play by the rules if you want to govern correctly.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Sachs. Brandon Brinson, Daisy Villa, Donnie Anderson. Yes, sir. Identify yourself.
Hi, I'm Adam Vine,
Oh, okay.
and I'm a member of the Equity First LA Coalition. I want to say thank you to City Council and President Wesson's office for working with the community to make many needed changes to Phase 3 programming and licensing. We continue to ask you to consider a merit-based application process for licensing moving forward, rather than strictly a first-come, first-served basis for processing applications. We ask for transparency in this and in all community benefit plans, including Phase 1 license holders. We urge Council and Mayor to support DCR's $4.5 million fiscal year 2019-2020 budget request. This is a step, but it's still not enough to begin repairing the harms from the war on drugs. We want to see a community reinvestment fund created with $5 million from this year's unappropriated balance and funded thereafter by 50% of the cannabis tax revenues collected by the city. You will continue to see us here until we see the money.
Thank you. Next speaker.
How you doing? My name is Brandon Brinson. I'm a Tier 1 social equity applicant, Phase 3. I'm a stakeholder. I have a property in District 10. It ain't cheap. I've been holding on to it for 2 years now. Going on 2 years, bro. Like, stop the bleed, man. Like, it's ridiculous. This ain't rocket science. Open it up, man. Open the process and do it now.
Thank you for coming down. Next.
Good morning, Councilwoman. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Daisy Villa, and I'm a social equity applicant with Fourth Movement. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak and how Fourth Movement has changed my life with extensive training and equipped me with a curriculum that has me feeling ready and prepared to become a leader in my community and ready to step up from where I've been, making some rights, ready to make it right for my community, pay it forward. I'm ready, and I'm here and equipped and telling you and pleading you that you move forward. It's only fair, I get it, that you want to get the law right, but it's fair for those that are already ready to move forward with this and make an impact in our community that's going to stand to change. And I urge you to move forward with your decisions and doing it properly because it's time. We're ready, and we're here to make a big change. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and before Donnie starts, I want to get one of my favorite names here. Ignite. I didn't see her. Where is she? Ignite? No? Let's get Tyrone Freeman, Evelyn Scott. Is there Jason Robinson, and a Jason Williams.
You ready?
No, not yet.
All right.
Kalina Flores. Now I'm ready, Mr. Anderson.
Good morning. My name is Donnie Anderson, the president of the California Minority Alliance. I want to say thank you, Councilman Harris Dawson, for acknowledging my man Nipsey Hussle and all the things that you're doing in our community. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I'm born and raised over there. When we came to you guys to do social equity was meant to be a hand up, not a handout. And the harm that it's doing by waiting, I'm like the gentleman, in July it'll be 2 years for me that I've been paying my rent, 2 years, and my rent just went up. So we need to look at this as a tax abatement instead of giving some money. The little money that they're going to give is going to burn through their hands before they even get anything going. It's about giving a tax abatement. I'd rather you give me a hand up and say you can get your business established and pay your taxes in a year and a half or 2 years. That'll help you. These people don't know nothing about this business or anything else. They need to understand what it is that's going to help them.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Thank you. Mr. Freeman.
Thank you. Tyrone Freeman, Executive Director for California Minority Alliance. I want to first thank the committee And it's astounding of all of the support that's now in the community of South Central and the Valley and the areas most impacted by the drugs. Councilman Marquise Dodson and Mr. Chairman, when you were head of speakership, and Councilman Dawson, when you were head of Community Coalition, and I chaired the Southern Christian Leadership Conference in the Union, we wish that all we knew was you need a little bit of weed to change the heart of everybody to improve the community, because that's what we see here today, and I hope it's true. And I want to comment on the fact that the community plans are so important in regards to linking this industry with neighborhood councils in the communities and the people most infected. The employment, let us not forget about that. And I want to comment and speak on support of the expungement and the support for the county that you offer on that we begin to do the real work, because I would love for all the advocates to talk about how many jobs they've given people impacted and how much work they've done before they even get a license. It's good to see some of the credibility and the opportunity to move forward on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Come on.
Hi, good morning. My name is Evelyn Scott, and I am a Phase 3 social equity applicant. I've had my building also for almost 2 years now. And I ask and urge you guys to move forward, because I'm bleeding. All of my savings and everything I have is in my business. I do not need a community program. I do not need to learn about this business. I've studied, attended seminars. I've done everything possible that I could do, and I've reached out to everyone that I possibly can to see what's going on with this program. Why are we having to wait? Because everything that I've worked for is in this business, and we can move forward now. There's no reason for us not to be processing these applications. So I urge and I ask you guys today to move forward now. There are people who have property who are ready to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Please identify yourself.
Yes, sir. Good morning. My name is Jason Robinson, and I'm a social equity applicant with Ford Movement. And I'm here to ask you guys graciously to please expedite the process as it exists right now. Every day we waste on this is empowering people and institutions that do not need to be empowered, and that are not running legal and qualified businesses, and are not bringing a positive light and a positive presence to the neighborhood that I live in and many of the other applicants live in. And the Fourth Movement has done a great job of preparing us to lead, preparing us to be that presence in the community. And that presence, it needs to happen now. And I think 2 weeks ago, we saw a little bit of that, unfortunately. We need positive businessmen, positive role models in the community today. And if this is one gateway to get that done, we need to get this done. I don't need to see any more of my friends and any more of my peers go out that way. Please, thank you.
No, thank you. And, okay, just hold on for 1 second. I'm looking for Kellen Marks, Lynn Lyman, Raphael Bernardino. Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Williams. I am the founder of C4, the California Cannabis Collective Corporation, as well as Young Entrepreneur Salute, a program geared towards mentoring young adults. I'm also a member of the Equity First Coalition. So whereas I echo everything that they are also up here saying, I like to iterate the fact that, like everyone else has said, I moved into a building over a year ago. I'm now negotiating the sale, if you will, of the same space because I can't afford to stay there anymore. Now I'm being asked by a distribution company to run my vision out of my building because I've lost over $150,000 that I've currently invested in that. I work with the inner city youth. I demonstrate to them what it's supposed to be an entrepreneur in our communities, but it's hard for me to get out there in front of these young adults and express to them that the government is the reason why we can't move forward. The government is the reason why I'm losing the steps I've taken to help them. We need your help immediately.
Thank you for coming. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, City Council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you. My name is Kalina Flores, and for the past 6 months, I have been a social equity applicant with the Fourth Movement. I have long anticipated becoming a licensed cannabis entrepreneur in the city of LA. Witnessing the transformation of cannabis from wickedness to wellness as a community member, voter, and now pending license applicant has been remarkable. My partnership with the Fourth Movement has provided me with resources, training, and a space to discuss regulatory information with like-minded entrepreneurs who are all committed to becoming the next leaders in the California's burgeoning cannabis industry. I commend you and the department for all the work put into crafting this legislation and affirm that it's important to ensure that the policy is right. I also believe that it's only fair for those of us who are committed to operational compliance, have been patiently waiting for the licensing application process to begin, and are positioned to move forward without additional assistance from the city, be afforded the opportunity to do so. I urge you to finalize your recommendations with timelines expeditiously and begin to move the process forward. Thank you.
Thank you, and well said. Yes, sir, identify yourself.
Yes, my name is Kellen Martz. I'm an attorney. Our firm represents a number of social equity applicants. We are concerned about the proposed rule that if a location has had enforcement action taken against it since January 1st, 2018, then a license can be denied, even if it isn't the applicant that was the one where the enforcement was taken against. We're concerned that this is a taking under the law, and also that this is an ex post facto law, where you're criminalizing or penalizing behavior that happened a number of years ago. If the city really wants to put this rule into place, it should be starting either today or later this year. Also, you're penalizing behavior where someone might not have known what they were doing was wrong, or they've corrected their actions and have stopped doing it, but you're penalizing the location, where if an applicant had nothing to do with the penalized behavior that happened 2 years ago, they still can't apply for a license. So we urge you to change that rule, and then also just to move forward, as everyone else said, very quickly and with good grace. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rafael Bernardino.
Good to see
when
you.
I was pension commissioner and police commissioner of this city, I sometimes had to clash with the city attorney's office when I felt that they were giving the departments bad advice, and that's why I'm here today. Paragraph 3, subsection E, the proposed revision that deals with delivery, limits the ability of stores to deliver outside the city of Los Angeles unless they have the approval of the DCR and the affected jurisdiction. Number one, this is going to cause a competitive disadvantage to social equity stores when they finally get licensed, because they will not be able to do as much business as other places will. Number two, this conflicts with state law. State law allows you to deliver elsewhere without the approval of those jurisdictions. Now, if the state of California changes that, that would change this. But for this council to adopt that provision hurts our entrepreneurs and will lead to lawsuits against the city, which I believe that they will lose. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning. My name is Lynn Lyman, and I'm a member of the Equity First LA Coalition, resident of the 6th District. I'm also the co-author and co-chair of Proposition 64, the Adult Use of Marijuana Act. I want to actually thank the City Council, especially the 10th District today, for working with us and of course, the Department of Cannabis Regulation over the past 6 weeks very intensely to make many needed changes to Phase 3 licensing and programming. So thank you for your time. However, we're concerned that you are still using a first-come, first-served basis, and we urge you to consider a merit-based application process, which is the only way to ensure transparency as well as help with the reality or the perception that there are backroom deals going on. We urge the council and the mayor to support the budget request for DCR, and we urge you to set aside 25% of the annual tax revenues from cannabis sales for a community reinvestment fund. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Greetings, Mr. Weston. How are you today?
I got my hands in my pocket.
Give
so I
thanks.
want you to know that. If I point at you, it'll be with my nose, all right? It's
Give
good
thanks.
to see you. Don't start her time yet. All right, I was worried about you. I called you and you weren't here.
I'm here.
The floor is yours.
Give thanks. Give thanks all. I am Ignite. I work with Life Development Group. We have been working diligently with social equity applicants to prepare them for Phase 3. We have them in getting all of their verification things together. Many of them have properties. Holding up Phase 3 any longer is going to squeeze the pockets of not only the investors, but as well as the social equity applicants that are doing their best to hold on to properties and squeeze their last bit of things out. We understand that this so-called war on drugs has been detrimental to our community and has put our people in not only an economic disadvantage, but also a mental disadvantage as well, that is keeping us locked into a systematic design that perpetuates effed up stuff. We just want to urge that phase 3 opens as quickly as possible. Give thanks.
You take care. It's good to see you. Okay, let me see who. Shabazz, Stephanie A, Tobias, Tomar, Graciani. Come on. It don't. Just come on down. Come on down. Yes.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, no problem. Just identify yourself first.
Speech. Okay. Hi, good morning to the City Council members. My name is Stephanie. I'm a social equity applicant and advocate. I'm back, yes. The war on drugs almost ruined my life mentally, physically, and spiritually. I had 19 convictions. I got 18 expunged and 1 dismissed. Like I said before, the election is on its way. Me being a registered voter means you guys need my vote. Y'all gonna need our votes too. What I'm asking is that the money be released today, the funding that we are seeking. $3 million is not enough. We are the richest state, and being the richest state, there's enough money for everybody. We print the U.S. currency. So with that being said, again, we ask that you guys release the funding today. Or again, you will continue to see me until the funding is released. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephanie. Tomar.
Good morning, council members. First, I'd like to say that I do not have an illicit cannabis business, nor do I support them. But at the same time, I can't support seeing our tax money go to waste time and time again. I remember that when Proposition M passed, there was a big hoopla about the fact that there's $20,000 fine per day for any illegal operation. Yet I've heard that not a single fine has been given out since. Now, there's talk about shutting down power and shutting down water, but I think that's just more money that's going to go to waste, and it's not going to have the effects that you guys want. So I seriously urge you to consider a slightly different approach to a problem that hasn't been solved in the last 10 years, and I just don't see it being solved with a little bit more money and small tweaks like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Tobias Tubbs.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor and privilege to be here today, sir. My name is Tobias Tubbs. As I said, I was given a juvenile death penalty in 1991 out of the Crenshaw District. Fought hard for my freedom, sir. The Honorable Jerry Brown commuted me 3 months ago. With that being said, I asked him to release me to help my community and to strengthen my community and give back to the community in which I took away from, sir. With this said, I want to trust into the government. I want to trust law enforcement, sir. I want to be connected to my government. I want to be connected to law enforcement. And how you all can help us today is to help us with this social equity movement. SEED is a real thing, sir. We need it. I'm from Crenshaw. Well, you know what's going on there. I ask you and all those who have involved to listen to our voices. Let's put some perspiration with this aspiration, and let's get it done, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down. And Cherie Franklin. Cherie, I thought I saw you. Come on down. Yes, sir, you are.
Hi, my name's James Doherty. I am with Life Development Group. I work with Ignite. We have a tremendous amount of social equity applicants. We're all qualified. Who have been sitting on property for a tremendous amount of time. They are really draining their pockets low to be able to be entrepreneurs and be able to build up the communities that have been ravaged by the war on drugs. So we really urge you to open up phase 3 as soon as possible so we're able to help them achieve that.
Thank you for coming, Ms. Franklin.
Good morning. Cherie Franklin with Think and Grow Lab, Cannabis of Los Angeles, and Go Verde Incubator. We have licensed phase 2 applicants in our incubator. And one of the things we're learning is that investors are coming with really extraneous requirements for money. And I would like to see how we can strengthen the review of these ownership partnerships. They're asking for people to give up, for instance, for phase 3, almost all of their shelf space in order to get money, or saying that we'll get you a loan, it's going to be at a high interest rate, and then asking for 30 and 40% ownership without bringing any technical expertise. In the previous regs, it said that you would review and approve the agreements. If we can put that back in, I think it would be very helpful to make sure that applicants are getting what they deserve and making sure that they can build a legacy for their family. And thank you for all the other changes.
Thank you. Okay, so do we have April? Did Yolanda Carter ever come up? And Eddie Cohen, I guess. Shanice Bullock. April. Andre Humphrey. Yes, ma'am. Identify yourself.
Good morning. My name is April Watkins. I'm a resident of District 10. Herb Wesson is my councilman.
Yes,
I'm also a social equity applicant. The Cannabis Equity Act, the intent was and is to ensure that persons most harmed by cannabis criminalization and poverty be offered assistance. It's time to deliver that assistance. The war on drugs has left my neighborhood of 30-plus years its casualty. There's a disproportionate law enforcement targeted at the incarceration of people of color and low income. The cannabis industry has been built on the backs of black and brown people going to jail. It is now time to address the harm to people of color by using the funding required from a now legal industry to reinvest in the communities that suffered under marijuana prohibition. Release the funding.
Thank you. Sir, please identify yourself.
Good morning. My name is Edwin Cohen.
Yes.
I'm not only a social equity applicant, but my family owns close to 6 million square feet of property in the city of Los Angeles. And I see how much money I'm spending, out of pocket for the past year and a half, and I can only imagine the strain that it's taken on the other applicants who really cannot be paying all this ridiculous amount of rent to secure a, location. And there's so much we can do as landlords to help these applicants before, they approach us and tell us we can't make our payments anymore. And I think you guys need to help us be able to help them so that we can be able to help each other and open this up as soon as possible. I really appreciate you having me on the floor today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please come identify yourself.
Good morning, Council. My name's Chauncey Bullock. I am the partner with Go Verde Incubator. I'm also the CEO of Greenhaven, LA. I'm also one of the founders with the Black Women's Cannabis Council. At this point in time, I recommend that you guys, as quickly as possible, give DCR what they're in need of financially, without them having to go through the hoops and chasing their own tail to try and determine what's needed to, as you can see, we're the largest industry within the world as far as cannabis goes. So please provide what's needed. Please open up phase 3. Let's tighten up the reins on what we're dealing with, because it makes no sense that on a weekly basis we have to come back and forth to City Council to beg and plead for modifications that make sense in the very beginning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Council. My name is Andre Humphrey, and today I'm here, and we can kind of get a feel for the theme today, which is the issues that those who are identified as social equity applicants are suffering financially. What I came to talk about, though, was the great work that Senator Bradford has done in terms of SB 1294 and securing that $10 million for disbursement to those cities that have social equity programs. And so, but one of the requirements is that each city has to have at least know the number of social equity applicants that are in their city, because that number dictates the amount of money that's going to come out of the 10 million. So we can see the theme here is that finances, finances, finances to stay in the game, and I'll quote Donnie on this, is that it's not a handout, but it's a hand up. And Senator Bradford has done a great job. So please get a way for us to actually document the number of social equity applicants in the city of Los Angeles so we can get those funds.
Thank you. Thank you. So, last call for Shabazz or Shabazz. Did Brandon come up already? Yeah, I think so. Yolanda Carter. Okay, that concludes public comment. Did anybody else fill out a card? I haven't called your name. Okay, so that, yes, sir, you are?
My name is Michael Haddon. I grew up in District 9.
Okay.
A community was raised up on love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Those are 9 things we're granted. Well, we don't have that in District 9 anymore. We have anything but that. And we need the economic funding for District 9 because what we're living in is just like the movie show District 9. And we need to come up out of that situation.
Thank you, sir. Yes, identify yourself.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning. My name is Amir Gresham, and I'm a social equity applicant partner with Fourth Movement. During the past 6 months with Fourth Movement, I patiently anticipated the opportunity to become a licensed operator and stake my claim in this industry. The community clamors for compassionate care, education, and a regulatory environment they can thrive in. Let's now act in unison to achieve LA's vision for legal cannabis retail. Through my partnership with Fourth Movement, I've been equipped with knowledge and business acumen for this historic endeavor. I've received the resources and mentorship to become a prosperous business owner, and I've undergone rigorous training that's emboldened me to demonstrate our purpose and excel as a leader. I salute you in the department for being steadfast and diligent in crafting the legislation, and I regard the necessity for balanced policies. We've patiently awaited the applicant licensing process to begin, and for those of us requiring no additional assistance from the city, it's only fair to afford us the platform to take advantage of this opportunity. I urge you, finalize your recommendations and clarify your timelines to expedite this process. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes public comment. So it's done. So what I want to do now, Mr. Clerk, is why don't we quickly deal with items 3 through 9, unless members, there are any questions or concerns from Mr. Harris Dawson or Ms. Martinez. Don't see any. So on items 3 through 9, let's adopt the CLA reports and resolutions, okay? So without objection, we will deem those items approved. So that now leaves us with what, items 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on item number 1, let's adopt the recommendation of the chair. And on 2, let's adopt the motion as amended to include, I believe it's the CAO's report. All right. So without questions, without concerns, we will deem those items approved as well. So is there any additional business before this committee?
The desk is clear.
The desk is clear. This committee is over. Thank you all for coming. Ignite. Where is she?